Twilight saw Spike cautiously putting his claws in the water. He was a fire-based dragon, and he couldn't do well in the seawater. She chuckled at the sight, and memories flooded back to where she could cradle the little baby dragon, scrubbing him in the bathtub despite his loud, squeaky protests. She gave out an inaudible sigh and clopped slowly over to the dragon. "Isn't it beautiful?" she mused. "Yeah, it is. Is this why we're here? We could have just walked the sunrise." He grew slightly impatient. Twilight normally would have shushed him, but she didn't want to scold the young adult. She wanted every last moment to be filled with love. Love for her son. "No, Spike," she hoarsely whispered and looked up to his handsome face. He really wasn't catching on. Good. "I want you to know that I love you." Spike's head jerked. Twilight normally didn't say things like this. He knew that he had his son-mother relationship for a brother-sister, but it was rare for Twilight to get so sentimental. He didn't complain. It felt good. It felt heartwarming almost. "You do?" he asked dumbly. Of course he knew the answer. Twilight had a visible tear on her face, and laughed. "Yes, silly. Why would I lie to my number one baby?" Spike wanted to feel creeped out. Were they just here to get sentimental? Because whatever Twilight was doing, it was working. His heart just got warmer and warmer until a lump was at his throat. "Thanks." There was an awkward pause, but the seemingly elderly Twilight just gazed into the moonlight. Finally, in a hushed tone, "Spike, yes? Do you like having me as a mother? Did I let you live the life you expected? At least a little?" Spike gawked at the question. Of course he did. He loved Twilight. Sure, he could have Rarity, maybe even a mother dragon. But she was the only one for him. Of course. We had so much fun. And you really... He felt something warm on his cheek. A tear. "Nice to me." He put a claw in the single tear. He was really beginning to worry about Twilight and his own feelings. She grinned, her face lit up with joy, yet with tears wetting her face. "You have no idea how glad I am to hear that," she sighed, happily content. Spike sat there with his mother, content as well. All the memories of being a baby dragon rushed back to him, back where they first moved to Ponyville, when he had a crush on that elegant pony Rarity, when Zagora cursed the girls, when the great and powerful Trixie arrived, even back to when he thought he was being replaced by Aloysius. But he knew now that she was never going to replace him. She loved him. His face was flooded with tears, and he stopped trying to hide them. Whatever this was, he didn't want it to end. He wanted to be a hatchling again, snug in Twilight's flank. He wanted everything back the way it was. "Which is why," Twilight interrupted his thoughts with a shaky, heartbroken voice, "this is so much harder for me to do." She looked up into his eyes. Spike was confused at first, but his eyes slowly widened. "No," he choked through tears. "No, Twilight, no! You can't do this! You can't! Not now! Hush," she whispered with affection. She used her magic to levitate to the book she had next to her. It was a very thin black book. She opened it, read it over, and closed it. "Don't make this harder on us. I love you, Spike, and even though you loved living this life, you love being the life of the—" "No!" His newly found emotions took over. "I can't go! I need to be with you!" His lump in his throat was unbearable, and he sobbed, "I need to be with you! I'm scared!" Twilight, throughout all this, remained somewhat calm. "Please," she whispered silently, "go. I can't have you here. Think of the positives." "What positive?" Then it hit him. He didn't have to go very far. Why, Celestia! He could visit her! "I could visit you! I could visit every day! It'd just be me living farther away!" He nearly shrieked with joy, only to get a choked reaction from his mother. "I don't think you understand. You need to live the dragon life. You can't come visit me. Spike, you are a dragon, and you need to act like one." Her voice hardened. "But do you understand?" She threw the words at her destroyed son. "Yes," he sighed, hopelessly sobbing. He was scared, confused, and the last spark of hope died in him. It was over. No more letters to send. No more chores. No more praise. No more snuggles. No more pony life. He was a dragon. "I am a dragon." He let the thought swirl in his mind. He was a dragon, but now he was a dragon on the inside. They sat together, and it was only moments, but it seemed to last forever. The moonlight shone brightly, and the black waves rushed up to Twilight hooves and Spike's claws. "Do you remember a lullaby?" A lullaby?" He sniffled away through his tears. "You never sang me a lullaby." "I did." She pat the book next to her. "Not often, but every once in a while. You loved it. You loved my voice." She paused, staring at the book. "Care to listen? One last time?" Spike wanted to explode on her. First, she destroyed him mentally and was giving him up, then getting him more wrecked by singing him a lullaby. He couldn't help but sigh, however. These were the last moments together. Might as well. Twilight didn't let him respond. Her horn levitated to the book and she opened the pages. There were no pictures like a regular lullaby book, and it seemed to be hoof-written. She calmed herself, and in a beautiful yet gentle voice she sang, "Now, my sleepy jewel, lay down your sleepy head." Spike recognized the song, and the memories flooded back again. He was merely an infant, and scared and cold, mainly hungry. She'd sing this to him over and over again, until he fell asleep with a gentle voice. "And snuggle in your bed as the day nears its end. Twist and trace as you leave behind the yesterday. But don't forget the memories we shared that day." The lyrics seemed so clear now. Was she planning this exact moment for her whole life? It was about him leaving, and she slyly turned it into a lullaby. Tears welled up again, and he hummed along. "Spread your giant wings, fly in the cold midnight, and I'll be waiting here until you rise again. I know that no one can hurt you when you're fast asleep. I know you can't see me, but someday we'll meet again in a place where the sunlight touches both of us. And on that glorious day, we will meet again. Now, my precious gem, lay down your sleepy head, and I promise that we will." She broke off, but Spike finished. "Somehow meet again." New tears formed in his eyes, but not ones of despair, ones of hope. He looked at the moon, shining down on them. "Twilight," he simply said. She looked up at him. "I know what I have to do," he stated with great confidence, and with a great effort he spread his wings, only getting a sob out of Twilight. He took a claw and pulled her tiny face to his muzzle. "Twilight," he stared deep into her eyes. "One day, somehow, we'll meet again. Maybe not in Equestria, but somewhere. We will meet again." Twilight's eyes beamed with happiness, and she kisses his nose. "Go on, and live the life you were supposed to. I've got Applejack to spend my life with." Spike smiled, knowing where she was getting at. "And I'll find some of my own kind." Then he got on her and was about to fly off. Then he let go of her and was about to fly off. "I love you, Mother." Before she could react, Spike lifted himself into the ground and flew into the moonlight. Twilight ran after him and her legs were soaked with the black, cold sea water. "Goodbye, Spike! I love you!" she screamed, tears running down her face. "I love you!"